This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Philly Sports Guy show. Today is Wednesday, July 20th, and there really wasn't a lot going on in sports yesterday. It was the All-Star game. I don't know if, the baseball All-Star game. I don't know how anybody could be really excited about this game. It's one of these things where the National League just always seems to lose. It doesn't matter if you are a betting person. I would always bet the AL because it looks like I guess 9 times out of 10, or maybe in this case 10 times out of 10, they're going to win the game. But it did happen yesterday. The American League win the game 3-2. The National League start off really strong. They get 2 runs in the first inning and then go to sleep. And literally, it was kind of a dud for anybody who was a Phillies fan, specifically because Schwarber didn't really get to play much, did have one at bat in the ninth inning. It looked like it was really set up to be able to, if you were watching this game, I know that when I was watching it, and I did watch this game as I was playing trivia in my living room at Dolan's Bar, that I one was bored out of my mind. Thank God that I could look down at my phone or do something else other than watch just this game. That there really wasn't a lot of excitement. There wasn't a lot of hits. It was kind of a microcosm of what this season is like in general. That right now pitching is much better than hitting. That these balls are not leaving the yard as well as they used to, and that these players are not hitting really well in general, and that good pitching is doing better than good hitting. So uh, the National League do score 2 runs in the first inning. Like I said, take a 2-0 lead. It was their biggest lead since 2012. 2-0. It was their biggest lead since 2012. Uh, Interesting how that all happened. Of course, Mookie Betts gets an RBI single, scores Acuna. Paul Goldschmidt then homers. So I guess Mookie Betts got out somehow, some way. Instead of being on, could have been 3-0. Instead, it was 2-0. And then in the fourth inning, uh, Giancarlo Stanton, the Yankee, homers to center field with Jose Ramirez on base, tying it up at 2. And the next batter, Byron Buxton, also homers to left field, and 3-2. That's all you're scoring. Literally, the highlight after that was watching Clace from Cleveland, who I know is battling for a playoff spot. So I can imagine that that guy is probably part of it. He wound up with the save. He struck out the side and was really excited about it. Uh, the other person that really had a really good outing was Manoa. As when I was looking at it, I was like, I'm looking at his name and the way that they had it spelled. I'm like, is that Madman up there? Like it just looks like Madman, but no, his name is Manoa. He also struck out the side. So there were a number of you know that's really about all the excitement that was going on in this game. Uh, Obviously, what had occurred. The one thing that I was 100% positive of was that there was going to be no way that they were going to be able to lead off with Otani and then have him pitch later in the game. So he said that he was not going to pitch at all. He did not pitch, and Otani wound up going 1 for 1. I think he also got a walk, so he did have 2 plate appearances. Wound up on base both times and did not pitch because I didn't think that that was going to be something he was going to be able to do. You can't lead off and then go to the bullpen. You either have to start the game or you don't start the game. So I thought that was a really good, smart idea by the American League, not to have him pitch at all. And ultimately, it kind of paid off. Didn't matter. Game ended 3-2. So not super exciting. And like I said, Schwarber with his 1 at bat, pinch hitting in the 9th. It looked like if everything was going to be set up properly, that Schwarber was going to hit a home run and they were going to go to extra innings home run derby. Was not to happen. And ultimately, the American League stick with what they do best in All-Star games and win another one in a row. I want to say that this was their 11th win in a row. Yeah, actually 10th win in a row. Yeah, last time that the National League won was 2012. So we have now 10 straight by the AL. So if you're a betting man next year, choose the AL. I just don't believe that the NL is really even interested in these games anymore. So, moving forward here, while this is all going on, the Phillies had a draft. And I said I was going to talk about this tomorrow. I am going to talk about it today because I'm not on tomorrow. So this is only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I do get some time off, but I'm going to go about what we're going to be doing this weekend here so you can follow the Philly Sports Guy with everything that's going on. But let's talk about the Philadelphia Phillies draft. With their first pick, they chose Justin Crawford, who is an outfielder from Las Vegas. Now, he eh, that maybe wasn't necessarily the best player available. I know that they have a hard time signing these draft picks. With Major League Baseball, you get thrown into the system. When you get drafted, you're not going to be able to play anytime real soon. And I expect that he's going to be in the system for about 3 to 4 years. But he was from high school, Las Vegas High School, and now he is in the Philly system. And it'll be interesting to see how he does. They did switch a little bit about his batting stance and some of his mechanics this past year, but he does have like 4 or 5 tools and could be, a very highly touted guy moving forward. I know that Harper was really big on this kid being from Las Vegas. They did not have a second round pick, but they did have a third round pick. And with that third round pick, they chose outfielder Gabriel Rincones Jr. He was chosen out of the FAU, and he hit 346 with 17 doubles and 19 home runs at the FAU. So, another outfielder does have a little bit of a bat. So, hopefully, it will be something that can move forward here and show up within a few years in the Phillies organization. With their fourth round pick, and there's like lots of rounds here. So they wound up, I think they had 19 picks in total. They pick from the University of Miami, Alex McFarling. And he is typically pitches out of the bullpen. He had 27 games, this season for the University of Miami. He only had 4 starts. He had a 4.00 ERA. And in 45 innings, he struck out 68 batters. He did walk 20, so he does have a little bit of a control problem trying to hit the strike zone, but he does have some great speed. And like I said, pitching out of Miami, he's got some. He's got a little bit of experience back there. That with the fifth pick, 152 overall, they pick pitcher from a University of Southern Florida, Orion Kirkering. And he was primarily a starter with the Bulls. He pitched in 19 games with 10 starts, 67 and 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 91 and 19 walks. He posted a 2.88 ERA out of the bullpen. So obviously, the kid can pitch a little bit, and with 91 strikeouts and 67 and 2/3 innings, kind of did himself, some good there. In the sixth round, they pick another pitcher, Mavis Graves. He was at East Side High School in South Carolina. He's committed to Clemson. He posted a 2.01 ERA. He led East Side High School to a 4A state championship. Didn't really have many more details other than that. With the seventh round pick, they pick a catcher, Caleb Ricketts from the University of San Diego. He hit 373 with 13 doubles and 16 home runs while there. Be interesting to see. I hope that they bring him right up to Double A. I know that right now there might be a little bit of a logjam with catchers with JT here, but I'd like to see how this kid can do with what's going on. Eighth round pitcher Alex Rao, and he was with Notre Dame. And at the Irish, he pitched in the bullpen, 47 innings, a 3.83 ERA with 57 strikeouts and 28 walks. Hopefully, the pitching coaches down in Double A and Triple A can get that command down. Like I said, 57 strikeouts and 28 walks. Sounds like he's got the power. He just doesn't have the command. So hopefully he's able to make that happen. In the ninth round, we pick an outfielder from California Baptist University, Chad Castillo. And he hit 386 with 23 doubles and 11 home runs. Uh, they're picking up outfielders that have potential, that are hitting. I'm not exactly sure the competition that the California Baptist University is playing with, but ultimately, we'll find out to see if he comes out anywhere within the system. I expect that he's going to probably start in Single A. When you start in the 9th and 10th rounds and such like that and lower, you're usually starting out in Lakeview or one of the Single A franchises there. And in the 10th round, they pick another catcher, Gustavo Sosa. And he was chosen out of South Mountain Community College. And with the Cougars, he hit 373 with 13 doubles and 9 home runs. They did have a lot more picks after that. They had 19 picks in total. I'm not going to go into all the details because we're not going to be able to see a lot of what's happening for a number of years with some of these guys. So ultimately, hopefully some of these guys can make a splash and move up the ranks pretty quickly. But I wouldn't expect to see anybody from the 2022 draft anytime before maybe 2026. That's just the way Major League Baseball works. Unless you're picking a pitcher like they did from Vanderbilt with the third pick, the Rangers picked Kumar. That he's somebody who might be able to make it to the big leagues with pretty quickly. Short of that, it's going to be pretty hard to get there. Unless you're picking somebody from Vanderbilt, Tennessee, teams like that, you're going to have a hard time making it right into the big leagues from the draft. So let's go to a quick commercial break. I've got a lot more to talk about something that's happening this weekend. We're going to go over all the details of where I'm going to be this weekend so that you can kind of follow me and, be where I'm going to be, because there's a lot of Philadelphia sports. Right now, we're in a little hiatus, especially because there's nothing happening. But uh, this weekend, we're going to be back acting again. So please stay tuned while we just go through these quick commercial messages.
The Hometown Foundation is excited to bring back the Dream Ride Experience, August 26th to the 28th at Connecticut's Farmington Polo Club. Join us in celebrating the accomplishments of our Dream Riders while enjoying live music, a car and motorcycle show, family fun zone, pet adoptions, canine demonstrations, the Fireman's Chili Cook-Off, and much, much more. Get your tickets today.
You can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, get us any.
And welcome back to the Philly Sports Guy Show. So we do this on Roku and YouTube as part of the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. I do rebroadcast these at later in the day. You typically are seeing this around 2:30. If you want to see it at first thing in the morning, please download the Northeast Streaming Sports app on your Roku or subscribe to Northeast Streaming Sports on YouTube, and you would be able to see me first thing in the morning at 9:00. We have a lot of great shows. We talk about all different types of sports, all the sports with more the personality than some of these other ones that are out there. Let's talk about what's going to happen this weekend. This weekend, as I put on my clicker here, starting on Friday, the Philly Sports Guy is going to show, or we are going to have a new flavor, the Philadelphia Phoenix. It is an ultimate frisbee team, professional ultimate frisbee team. They are one of the playoff teams in Philadelphia right now. They just clinched the playoffs against Toronto this past Saturday. It was a great game. I actually have some of the highlights here that I am permitted to show. It's, I've been watching some of these games on NBC Sports or, Comcast Sportsnet, whatever it is that you want to call it. And they do show these games. It is a high flying, very fast paced games. These games typically last, score like 25, 23. They do score a lot of points in this games. It's 7-on-7 frisbee football. And they are, you throw the frisbee, you got to catch, you got to throw that frisbee again pretty quickly. There are some very fast scoring. There's a lot of action back and forth. It's played on an 80-yard field. There's 20 yards for both end zones, so they do they do go running back and forth all the time. Like I said, you have to catch the frisbee. If the frisbee is dropped, it changes possession. There's a lot of different rules you'd be able to find. You see on the ticker below, you could go and Google the Philadelphia Phoenix or go to audl.com/Phoenix to get all of the information. And this Friday, we are going to be at the Philadelphia Super Site, which is at 10th and Bigler, where the Philadelphia Phoenix are going to host the New York Empire. And the New York Empire are both 11-0 and are the defending AUDL champions from last year. Now, the Phoenix have played them already earlier in the season in week 2 and they lost 17-15. It was a very close game. They gave New York a little bit of a scare. They always play New York really tough. They look at these guys as their rivals. They have the rivals there and the rivals against DC. Both of those are local spots, obviously, right down the turnpikes or right down 95, either way, up 95 or down 95. And they play these teams really tough. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'd like to see some people come out there and really push for the Phoenix. And it's always great when we get to beat New York. So I do have some highlights from the Toronto game and just a little bit of action, some of the best plays from the year this year. So I'm going to roll the clip here as they were, and we're going to talk and get to see a little bit about what happens in Ultimate Frisbee.
Very strong, consistent defensive player, seeing maybe shake off the webs of that throw.
Throw going up and just short of the end zone. Is Philly looking for options? Mott. There it is, and the big spike. Pretty covered Watts before he even threw that disc. And now Pollard.
You get to see these
walk
long
right
passes.
in for the score. There's still a lot of crowd participation and
long
fan
passes
experience
here.
I've heard through the grapevine that some people were saying there's actually quite a few Philadelphia fans, family, and people within the crowds.
They absolutely know.
Breaking out, looking
Philly.
for Pastor. Park maybe waited too long to make the grab, but another drop.
Philly does know
Excuse me,
how
a
to travel
drop.
to all these games.
And now
doesn't
Philadelphia,
matter
a
what
chance
the
to go-
team. Philadelphia
As you
always
see on your
goes
screen,
good.
a break opportunity to goal at 4. Trifelis. There it is. Finds Nardelli, and it's a 4-point lead. 4 versus 4 with Kevin J out there. And now Matt Hanna going to get free of Andrew Watts and Sean Mott. He's in the zone right now, folks. Jay hucking it for Turner, working against Hanna. Hanna coming over the top for the block. No call. It's a clean block.
I think that's the play that would have really lit up this team.
Ryan looking for Pollard. What an arcing backhand for number 22, Jordan Ryan. The mascot trying to get fans excited here for this break opportunity. And it's a Callahan. Philadelphia making things happen.
A Callahan is an
Big
interception
kick
in the
spike
end
from Paul
zone.
Owens.
Just so you know.
Milking some of that precious
I have to
time
learn a
off
couple
the
of these
clock here.
terms
Give and go
myself. It's
action.
good. Like I said, you can see this is a very fast-paced
Ryan
game.
pops
They do
in.
move very quickly. They're always scoring points.
Pollard
and
has receiver going
you
deep. That's
never
Matt
are
Hanna.
in.
And
You're always
Pollard,
within
not
range
just a
to
goal
score.
scorer, he can chuck it a little bit too. Could still make some moves here. As I say that, a sliding grab from Philadelphia with a spike. Greg Martin
So,
putting the punctuation mark, or I should say exclamation mark, on this one.
and that's
And
what they win.
Philadelphia, you got to be proud of how you did coming in late, having to start the game late because of that, knowing Toronto was having a huge target on this game, trying to make their playoff dreams a reality. Philadelphia comes away with a victory, gets their 5th W.
And there you go. They got their 5th win of the year. That does clinch a playoff spot. It's the first time in 9 years they have clinched a playoff spot. And like I said, Philadelphia has another playoff team here. It's the only Philadelphia. It's only the only Ultimate Frisbee team in Philadelphia. And they have 2 more games left before the season is over. Again, they play this Friday against the New York Empire, and that's a 7 o'clock. And they're playing down at 10th and Bigler at the Philadelphia Super Site. So it's very close to the stadiums. It's parking should be fairly simple, and tickets are available on the Phoenix website. So you could go right there and see what's going on and come out and support them and come see the new look of the Philly Sports Guy. One of the other things, I want to show you some of the extra highlights. I was watching some of the highlights from earlier in the season, and I put them all together for you. They really are exciting to watch. Let's go roll this clip really quickly for you.
Wither. Eric Whitmer. Looking deep. And Esser can't come down with it in bounds. They're giving him the point. Esser laid out.
And the toe drag.
Great toe drag right at the back of the end zone. Great call.
Who knows? Maybe a first break point. Oh, it was tipped. Might have been set.
This is one of these plays that's amazing. 4 seconds left. He chucks it the entire length of the field. And
One white jersey, and it's confirmed! What a layout by the Philadelphia receivers.
just amazing. They get the block there. They get the turnover. He throws it all the way down. There's only 5 seconds left. It's in the air, and this guy lays out and makes the grab for the point.
There's another one, the long hawk. Martin.
This guy gets up there and makes the grab there for that point.
Greg Martin.
There we go. We're running.
Again. 8th goal of the night. And
Jumps up there really high and just grabs that over 2 defenders. A great goal there.
Philadelphia's been getting better every game. You know, they dropped their first 3. Some of those games super close. Nice D.
Outstanding layout by
Good defensive play, good defensive block here.
Austin Lillis.
Lays out to get the block.
And, you
Create
know, giving Greg
turnover.
Martin the disc isn't the worst thing in the world, and making him try to throw. But I would prefer if they try to do it in a way where they had to throw a double team on.
There we
Streaking
go.
deep,
And
James
this was another
Pollard
one.
picked up
James
by
Pollard gets
nobody. Did he get the toe drag? Yes, he did.
And another big
the
play
major
for
toe
Philadelphia.
drag right
Another
there.
athletic
right at the very
to the
end.
line. In this case, it's for a goal.
And you'd be able to see it.
Before it was to save the possession.
And hopefully it shows a little bit. Let's see if I can show that one more time.
Up
come down with it in bounds. They're giving him the point.
by nobody. Did he get the toe drag? Yes, he did.
And another big
I'm
play
trying
for
to show you this
Philadelphia.
toe drag.
Another
It was a
athletic
little bit
to the
lagging a
line.
little bit.
In this case, it's for a goal.
Bang.
Before it was
With
to save
the
the
toe
possession.
drag. Great touchdown there. Really is amazing to watch these guys play. Like I said, you would be able to see it on the NBC network. They really are. It's a lot of fun to watch, and I am going to be there in all of my splendor, the Philly Sports Guy. So go on Friday, like I said, the AUDL.com/Phoenix for details, or just Google the Philadelphia Phoenix. On Saturday and Sunday, the Philadelphia Phillies are going to be playing, and I will be at those games as well. Yeah, we are going to be it's going to be a fun-filled weekend, total with sports. Obviously, let's see who we they got the Chicago Cubs in town, and then of course that they're playing. The Union are playing in Orlando this weekend, so you're not going to be able to go to a Union game. You will be able to probably watch them on PHL 17. But the Phillies are going to be playing against the Cubs, and that should be another couple of games that we should do really well. We need to win these series and keep winning these games moving forward here, because after we have Chicago, I know that we have Atlanta on the horizon. So we want to be able to go into the series with Atlanta, running off of another series victory here against the Cubs. Like I said, the Cubs are not the best team right now. I'd like to take a look at some of their pitchers, because they are probably going to be sellers at the trade deadline, which is now only 2 weeks away. So we have to start paying attention to what's out there so that we could put our team in total. So Again, we're going to wrap it up here today. Thank you very much for hanging with me. Again, hope to see you this Friday at the Philadelphia Super Site, where we watch the Philadelphia Phoenix take on the New York Empire. And like I said, this is going to be a precursor for the playoffs. So as always, have a great week and let's go Philly. Yeah.